Happy off day. Man, we've needed one of these for a little while. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. Thanks for joining us here on WTMJ as we're getting ready to talk Brewers here for the next hour or so. And vibes are good coming off of a 5-2 homestand, winning 3 out of 4 against the Cardinals, 2 out of 3 against the Pirates, and now they embark on their longest road trip of the season. 3 games in Houston starting tomorrow night, Friday through Sunday. 3 games in Miami, Monday through Wednesday. Off day again a week from tonight, next Thursday. And then Fenway Park, Friday through Sunday. And I'm excited because next weekend I will be live from Fenway Park for all 3 of those games. And then, of course, come back home. The next time you see the Brew Crew at American Family Field will be the Craig Council return. So a lot to get ready for, a lot to get excited about. But we're going to talk ball, and we're going to talk a little bit about what went down yesterday and hear from the players that be. Yesterday, slugfest broke out at American Family Field as the Brewers win 10-2 over the Pirates. Robert Gasser was great once again. More on him a little bit later on in the program. But the offense was the story. 10 runs, 13 hits. Ironically, they went just 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position because they hit 5 home runs in the game. William Contreras, a double shy of the cycle. Sal Frelick, a triple shy of the cycle. Joey Ortiz hit another home run. Gary Sanchez hit another home run. Also, Jackson Chourio hit a home run. So a lot of good to pull from yesterday's game from the offensive perspective as the Crew improves their record to 26-17. They're still a game and a half clear of the Cubs, but we don't care about the standings in May. It is good vibes to see that. Joey Ortiz is a guy I want to talk about here right off the bat. We're going to have a whole segment dedicated to William, I promise. But talking about Joey Ortiz and what he's been doing as of late is nothing short of impressive because, let's be honest, he got off to a slow start as a Brewer, understanding what was going to be asked of him in a new organization. It's like, moving schools, right? You're trying to, all right, what table do I got to sit at? Who do I got to know? I got to remember a lot of faces. And obviously, he had all of spring training to do that. But you can look back to the day that he had his first home run. We've talked about this on postgame shows. The day that he had his first home run in the walk-off against the Yankees, that was on April 26th. At that time, heading into that game, he had a 657 OPS and just a 245 batting average, which is still above league average. There's not much to worry about there. But since that game, since April 26th, in his last 15 games, 55 plate appearances, he has got an OPS over 1,100 in these last 15 games and a batting average of 311. He is a 3-4-5 player, really a 3-4-7 player in these last 15 games. 5 doubles, a triple, 4 homers, 8 walks, 11 strikeouts. He is making a massive leap this season, a massive reason why the Brewers are doing so great with the young kids. He's another one of those guys that has less than a year of service time. Pat Murphy yesterday was singing his praises.
I feel like Tito's taken that step, to being an everyday player. I really do. And that's big, like early in his career. I don't know how many games he played in the big leagues so far, but not many. And he's handling the defensive situations. His awareness on defense is tremendous. And then to throw this in there, too. But everything else about his game is tremendous. But
he also added in there when he swings at a curveball in the dirt, I want to tase him. That made me chuckle, too. But Joey Ortiz, he's not one for quotes with the media. He's pretty short and understanding, hey, see ball, hit ball, just trying to do my best for the team, that sort of thing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But from what Joey Ortiz is doing right now, and let's also be honest, you don't win or lose a trade in 1 month of 6 years of control. But to see some results will make some fans happy, even though real fans, and I shouldn't say real fans, I should say baseball people understand, hey, let the kid grow up, let the kid understand what it's going to be like in the big leagues. He's only 25. He'll turn 26 in July. California native, went to New Mexico State, got to see his old teammate Nick Gonzalez this week, quote-unquote best friends with him as they were up at the same time back at the Aggies in Las Cruces. So really, really exciting to see what Joey Ortiz is doing right now. A little bit later on in the program, I want to spend a little bit more time on Jackson Chourio and some of the leadership quotes we're getting from this team, specifically the one you may have seen me tweet earlier today about Christian Yelich. That's coming up a little bit later. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. 631-620. You can call in, you can text in, come hang out with us tonight. We're going till the top of the hour. Brewers Weekly right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Don't knock it till you've tried it. That's what I told him when he was skeptical of hiring a discount real estate agent. But after a while, he believed me, and it turned out to be the fastest home sale I've ever made. Now, I can't promise you the lightning quick sale I made for this client, but I can promise you full service for less. So let's talk about your home. And with the money you save with an only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission, you can laugh all the way to the bank. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you'll get full service for less. Benefit-realty.com. Discount real estate brokers sell all kinds of homes. Southside bungalows, Lake Country estates, and everything in between. We're living proof of that. We found the term full service goes really well with the word discount. Who wouldn't want full service at a discount? Especially a home seller looking for serious real estate expertise, potent online home marketing, and quality photography, all at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you'll get full service for less. Benefit-realty.com.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely, and you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend Accunet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which Accunet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Petronio. Brewers won big yesterday. It's a winning homestand, and now they get ready for a big road trip against the Astros, Marlins, and Red Sox. I want to talk about Robert Gasser in this segment. Then in the next segment, we're going to talk about William Contreras. Gasser, 11 innings pitched in the big leagues, only 1 run allowed. I'm not going to overreact saying this guy is going to be the next Cy Young, but it's nice to see some pub given to him and to the Brewers, given he's the last guy remaining from the Josh Hader trade, obviously, and that's going to be tagged on him for the rest of his career. So let's, understand that, yes, this is a big reason for it. And there's a lot of love for the trade tree of the Hader trade this week, given especially yesterday was a banner day for that, right, with what William Contreras did. And again, this is the tree of the Hader trade because they got Ruiz, flipped him for Contreras and Payamps and another minor leaguer named Justin Yeager who throws like 98. So don't overreact to 2 starts, but he is the first Brewers starter ever to win his first 2 starts in the big leagues. And when you're a first, it's something, it's pretty cool. And one thing that he did very, very well yesterday was navigate through traffic. I don't think he had his A stuff, specifically with the sweeper. The command was not quite there. Here's what he had to say in his own words about dealing with all of that.
Yeah, I was actually really happy that I was able to, battle back, especially after having guys on. It felt like the leadoff hitter was on every single time. So just being able to work through that was good.
So I thought, again, Gasser showed some resiliency, and he made big pitches. He put a lot of balls on the ground. Really good sign.
I thought the big pitch was in the 5th inning, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have my scorebook in front of me, forgive me, but when he faced Andrew McCutchen for a third time, there were 2 men on, and the game was still very much in the balance at that point, but a chance for him to keep only 1 run on the board. I mean, he had runners on the corners and nobody out, and only 1 run scored. I thought that was massive. But to have Kutch face a third time, genius play call or pitch call by Gary Sanchez to call changeup first pitch, knowing Kutch was going to be hunting a first pitch heater, and he got him to pop out. Gasser was really happy with that selection and to get out of the jam in 5 strong 1-run innings from him. Gasser has learned how to pitch in 2 starts, and what has he learned so far in these first 11 innings as a big leaguer?
Strikeouts aren't there right now, but I think they'll come. I just got to make sure I'm attacking the zone. I think that's the main thing, is just being in the zone and not getting to hitters' counts.
Yeah, he's only had 1 walk and 1 hit batter, which is exactly what you would hope for a guy like him who does not throw overly hard, but clearly there's some deception there. There is something there that teams cannot pick up on, including righties. And I had asked him earlier this week about moving over to the third base side of the mound. Like, when did that happen? Because when you watch him, you realize how extreme over to the side he is. And he is throwing from a low arm slot. And he said very early in his development in the Padres organization, he realized that a lot of his stuff, he was having trouble getting into righties, getting to that back foot, and understanding why his stuff wasn't quite getting over the plate. Because he used to be more down the middle. And from that slot, he felt that he was leaving too many pitches over the plate. Now it gives him a chance to get in on righties and also to work his stuff easier away from lefties, right? There are guys that, we think of Josh Hader, who stood on the first base side of the rubber and really wanted to make lefties extremely uncomfortable, kind of like a Chris Sale sort of thing where that crossfire delivery, and you never really see the baseball, and lefties especially don't see it. But it's kind of the opposite direction with Gasser. Just because they're on the third base side of the rubber, and in theory, a lefty would say, oh, I can see him a lot better now, but now everything's moving soft even further away from you than you're used to. He doesn't really have anything that runs in to lefties. Okay, he doesn't have a 2-seamer. He has a 4-seam that has a little bit of natural cut. He throws a cutter, and then he also has the big sweeper that moves away from him, which is why I think in his first start, Lars Nootbaar was one of the only lefties in the lineup that day for the Cardinals, and he extremely struggled against the lefty because he was very uncomfortable handling that sweeper. Struck out twice against him in his 2 at-bats. So that's something for me to monitor with Gasser. His next start would be scheduled to likely be on Tuesday or Wednesday in Miami, depending on how the Brewers want to play things out as they get ready to go to Houston for that series. Looking at the rotation, or at least the assumed rotation coming up here for the Brewers against the Astros, as the Astros are beating up on the A's right now. Tomorrow it'll be Freddie Peralta back on the mound for the Crew. Freddie last pitched on Saturday against the Cardinals. Then it'll be Bryce Wilson on Saturday against Justin Verlander. And I forgot to mention Hunter Brown likely starting on Friday for the Astros. Then on Sunday, Colin Ray against Spencer Arrighetti, a rookie for the Astros. So you miss Framber. Obviously, Garcia is still recovering from surgery. You miss Christian Javier, who is pitching tonight. And now, obviously, the big news with Ronel Blanco, that he's going to be suspended for 10 days. You get to miss him as well. So Freddie, Bryce, and Ray are due for the Astros. Ross, Gasser, and likely back to Freddie on Wednesday in Miami. So that's what's up ahead for the pitching staff. But now I've taken plenty of time to wait to talk about William Contreras. We talk about Wild Bill coming up next and the streak that he's on and why he's certainly my MVP in the first quarter of the season. Just getting going here on Brewers Weekly on 620 WTMJ.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
WTMJ is your station to catch all things Brewers. Listen to Bob Uecker.
Get out of here and way gone!
Jeff Leverett.
Struck him out with a changeup.
Lane Grindle.
And it's a called third strike!
And Josh Mauer.
Watch this, baby. Goodbye.
Call every game.
I'm surprised you still have fingernails on that right hand.
And have a little fun.
I got more in my bag.
On your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
Quality heating. Heat pumps have been the norm down south, but they're new up here. And I'm a big advocate for them. They're far more efficient than conventional AC systems and serve as a backup to your furnace too. They don't use gas and they're really efficient. And that's why the government basically pays for a big portion of these babies with rebates. So before you install a conventional AC system, ask the man in the red van about an Armstrong air heat pump.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
Manufacturers can void a warranty if annual maintenance can't be proven. Having a preventive maintenance agreement on your HVAC system keeps your warranty in check, helps avoid nuisance calls and your system failing at inopportune times. You get 15% off parts and labor on repairs, no trip charges, discounted pricing for replacements, and priority service. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. See the man in the red van about a preventive maintenance agreement starting at only $25.50 per month.
Quality heating, quality heating.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here with spring here and the warmer temps in the air. This is a great time to be doing all the fun outdoor stuff, right? Like the hiking, the biking, maybe going to the lake. But if your joints are flaring up, you may be having second thoughts maybe about hitting those 18 holes. Well, if you're tired of the achy joints, here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. Do it before you agree to surgery or steroids or any other medication. It's what tens of thousands of patients are doing. Take Abby, for instance. Constant back pain. She had nonstop ice packs, steroids. It was exhausting for her, but thanks to QC Kinetics, Abby feels like a new person. No back pain thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics. I'd love to be talking about your story next, your lasting relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics. Consultation is free. Hear about it now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics.
Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Hello again, I'm Dom Cotroneo. We haven't freaked out properly enough about what William Contreras is doing right now. I mean, I know I've been saying it a lot on postgame shows, but we really need to sit down and look at the numbers. Because it's May now, it's officially not, I think it's officially not early at Memorial Day. So, like, we still got a week and a half of calling it early in the season. But by the start of summer, it's no longer early, and you start getting into finding out who you are. Right? There's stages. We're officially a quarter of the way through the season now. And that's a large enough sample to sit here and look at William Contreras' numbers. Here's his season-long numbers right now in 43 games. By the way, has not had a day off. 359 batting average, 434 on-base percentage, 553 slug, 987 OPS. He's got 6 homers, his 6th coming yesterday, 13 doubles, and a triple, which came yesterday too. 22 walks and 36 strikeouts. He's even got a couple of stolen bases. When you look at his league ranks, this is not league ranks, rather, MLB ranks. Second in batting average, only behind Shohei Ohtani. Second in on-base percentage, only behind Mookie Betts. 8th in slugging, 5th in OPS, 5th in B-WAR, so baseball reference, tied 3rd in F-WAR, Fangraphs, and he's 1st on batting average on balls in play at 423. This week we saw StatCast drop their new bat tracking metrics, And we also learned that William Contreras is leading in one of the newest categories for the nerds like me to analyze for baseball. That is called blasts. One thing that we've learned about bat tracking and bat speed is that the average swing in baseball is 72 miles an hour. And a quote-unquote fast swing is 75 miles an hour or higher. And 75 just so happens to be the average bat speed of a home run in baseball. Well, William is averaging just shy of 75 miles an hour on his bat speed, which is above league average, obviously. But there is something called blasts, where when you square up a baseball, meaning you give it an X amount of exit velocity based on your bat speed, and you give it a fast swing. He is the best in baseball at that. So you combine the fact that he hits quality contact, he has one of the best hard hit rates in baseball, with the fact that his BABIP is so high at 423, that's not sustainable, but it's really damn good. This is ridiculous. Oh, by the way, he's still catching 75% of the games for the Brewers. He's got a 23-game on-base streak. And again, I told you, his season OPS is 987, and that's in 43 games. In this 23-game on-base streak, his OPS, 987. He is the same player. He is ridiculously consistent right now. And in this on-base streak, 13 walks and 14 strikeouts. William has only been hitless in a total of 7 games this year. And of those 7 games, he's still finding ways to reach base. In fact, in those games, 7 games that he hasn't had a hit, only 3 of them he's failed to reach base. Ridiculous start to the season. Look, I understand what the Dodgers have got going on out there with Shohei and Mookie, and one of them at this rate is likely going to keep the MVP away from William. But man, I am going to campaign like crazy to make sure that if Williams stays on this ridiculous pace, I mean, he's not going to hit 350 all year. He's not going to have a nearly 1,000 OPS all season. Well, at least he's not supposed to. But if he hits over 300 as a catcher with power, you got to sit down and look for a second. Okay, Mookie Betts, obviously super valuable. Playing all over the place, still hitting on the best team that money can buy. Super impressive. Shohei Ohtani's DHing. I'm sorry. I'm going to have a really hard time if William keeps doing this and Shohei keeps doing his thing. Like, Shohei can hit 40 homers. That's fine. As a DH only. I'm going to have a hard time justifying him getting the MVP. Because guys like Mookie, guys like William, guys like Ellie De La Cruz should be strongly considered. And I understand, well, Dom, it's Shohei. He's hitting the ball harder than anybody ever. William is hitting the ball just as hard. And he's catching the hardest position on the diamond. This dude is playing like an MVP. And again, when voting opens for the All-Star game, Brewers fans, y'all better stuff the ballot box. You do it for Giannis, do it for William. Send this man to Arlington as the best catcher in baseball. He should be the starting catcher for the National League in Arlington, home of the Rangers, for the All-Star game this year. He's made one All-Star as a DH back in 2021. I think he wants to be I know he wants to be the starting catcher for the National League, seeing some of his old Braves teammates, maybe seeing some of the folks that gave up on him, and say, no, I'm the best. I'm ready. The crown celebration, that's not a coincidence. Think about that. The crown celebration that Jason Lane hands him a crown whenever he hits a home run or whenever he scores and somebody places a crown on him. He is the best catcher in baseball. And the numbers prove it. He's playing like it. The team has needed every single hit that he has provided this year. Enjoy it, man. This has been incredible. Another thing, he's been a leader. I want to talk about the leadership of this team. William, Yelich, Hoskins, how it's impacted one young Jackson Chourio. 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620 if you want to join us this evening on the program. Stay with us. Plenty more Brewers talk here on WTMJ.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
A Friday fish fry is a great Wisconsin and family tradition. I recommend the fish fry at the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. It's all you care to eat, and it's one of the best. All other dinners this weekend are buy one, get one free, including the pan-fried walleye, the pecan-crusted salmon, any seafood, steak and lobster, prime rib on Saturday, buy one, get one free. Desserts and that huge ice cream drink selection, buy one, get one free. I love it all. After a long week, relax with a hand-muddled old-fashioned. 20 bourbons and 100 wines in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the historic Holy Hill Shrine. The Spring Drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest is a Wisconsin must-see. And you'll love the award-winning all-you-care-to-eat Sunday brunch. Delicious. Step away from your kitchen. Visit foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Enjoy a cocktail and a free dinner this weekend. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Progressive presents 10 things on a food truck owner's to-do list that are harder than getting a commercial auto insurance quote. Stocking the fridge, prepping the stations, finding employees that get along well, finding employees that actually do their job. Looking at you, Gary. Balancing the books, balancing the flavors, having a fresh menu and fresh produce and fresh meat, but never a fresh mouth. But the easiest thing on a small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you can save on commercial auto insurance. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
This is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
There was a great quote today in Ken Rosenthal's notebook in The Athletic. Welcome back. I'm Dominic Cotroneo. This is Brewers Weekly. And, you know, right when I was about to be out, they pulled me back in, right? Remember we talked about them misidentifying William and Wilson Contreras last week? But in this notebook from Ken Rosenthal, talked a lot about the Brewers in it. And there was a great quote in here. I'm just going to read the whole excerpt. Again, this is from Ken Rosenthal in The Athletic. The Brewers seemed a good bet to regress after losing manager Craig Counsell to the Chicago Cubs, trading staff ace Corbin Burns to the Orioles, and starting the season without 2 injured stalwarts, closer Devin Williams and right-hander Brandon Woodruff. Instead, the team leads the NL Central. Quote from Christian Yelich, "We hold ourselves to a certain standard. There's an accountability here. If you want to be on a bad team, do what bad teams do, talk like bad teams do, play like bad teams do, you can do that. That's fine. But if you want to be on a good team and play winning baseball, you have to do it a certain way." End quote. I just simply tweeted, this Yelly quote goes really hard. And Brewers fans obviously got a hold of it. They've gone nuts for it. A couple of my favorite responses. Sounds like a Murph phrase. You can actually imagine him telling the guys that 100%. I agree with that. From Eric on Twitter, to say the least. This one from Danny. They got a good, well-rounded team. The question always is, do they have enough talent when it comes to the postseason? Look, let's be honest. This team's ahead of schedule. I said it on this program. 500 would be a good year. I really do believe that. And there still could be a losing streak looming, but there also could be a winning streak looming. That's what you have with a young team. Volatility. But guys like Yelich, guys like Contreras, setting the standard. Now, it stinks to have Rhys Hoskins on the IL right now. And remember, Yelly missed 3+ weeks. And one of the guys that I think is really learning on all of this is Jackson Chourio. And he openly talked about it yesterday in the clubhouse through team translator and coach Daniel De Montessert about what he's learned. Because remember, he took a few days off. Here's what Churio had to say learning from the vets.
No, I really enjoy watching him and his routine. I think that's something that I like watching and want to learn some more from. No, I think I learned to just go out there and play. Take every AB like it could be your last and just go out there and have a good time.
He took 4 straight days off as a starter. Now, he got into a couple of those games, did Jackson. And I've mentioned it on post-game shows, and now here on the program, I'll just repeat myself. The Brewers wanted him to take those 4 days to kind of assess and see what's going on, learn from the guys around him. I've said it before as well. Jackson's locker sits between William Contreras and Willy Adames. And then next to Willie is Freddie Peralta. And next to Contreras is Christian Yelich. That's not a coincidence. I promise you that. That he is between 2 of the best Latin players in the game that speak his language. Obviously, Contreras from his home country of Venezuela. Willie, the veteran that's about to hit free agency, that's trying to get paid like Jackson Churio has been paid, and even more so. You've got Freddie, who's going to be on this team for a few more years. He's got 2 team options remaining. William is under control for another 4 years. He's going to be going. He's not going anywhere. And Yelly in year 5 of a 9-year deal. He ain't going anywhere either. Churio, I hope, and again, 20 years old. Think back to when you were 20 years old. You were still growing, for God's sakes. And this dude's in the big leagues, and he hit a ball yesterday 441 feet. And his bat speed is above league average, and he's 20 years old. He's going to get scary, scary good. You hope that him talking about routines and learning from William, ever since they came home from that road trip in which they had the tough trip against the Cubs and the Royals, after that little breather that Churio had, he's been at early work every morning with William and with Willie. That's the thing about Contreras. His work ethic is infectious. It's scary how strong his motor is. Like yesterday, we're in the clubhouse looking for quotes. I mean, the dude's got a 23-game on-base streak, and they're about to go on a 10-game road trip. We'd like to talk to William. Brewers PR informed us he's in the gym. He's going to be there for another 30 minutes. Now, could that be a little bit of eyewash? Maybe. I'm going to believe it because it doesn't surprise me. I have seen every single day that the Brewers have had early work. That's one of the first things I do is a little inside baseball here. When the clubhouse opens to the media, I assess who's in the clubhouse, and I check who's missing. Now, we're not allowed to go to the batting cages, but we're allowed to go out to the field. And I go out to the field, first thing, just to see who's out there, who's throwing pens, who's doing whatever. And every day I have seen Willy Adames, William Contreras, and Jackson Churio, among others. But those 3 guys, this past homestand, were out there every day. They are taking him under his wing, and you're maybe seeing the fruits of that labor right now. Let me just bring you some numbers as we bring this segment to a wrap here. So Churio, on April 26th, in his first 23 games in the bigs, at this point, he had only had 2 off days in his big league career. In those first 23 games, he was hitting .205, a .617 OPS. He was really in a funk. Granted, he had hit a handful of home runs, which everybody loves homers. He had hit 4 homers to that point. But since April 26th, now this includes a little bit of time before the reset and before not starting a handful of games, but since April 27th, he's hitting 40 points higher for his batting average. His on base ain't great. It's about 20 points higher. Slugging ain't great. In fact, he's slugging less than he did because he only hit 1 homer over his last 47 plate appearances, which was yesterday. But I went a little deeper. His strikeouts are down. He's seeing the ball better. In those first 20-something games, 23 games, his strikeout rate was 35%. In his last 16 games, 12 of them being starts, he slashed that more in half. 15% is his strikeout rate. He's swinging and missing far less. 33% in the first 1/8 of the season. 21% in the second eighth of the season. I would like to see some more quality of contact, though. Hard hit rates staying right around upper 30s, low 40s. Would like to see him make more solid contact. Granted, yesterday was maybe a sign of more to come. But maybe the leadership on this team is sending the message to Jackson, hey, man, we know you're 20, but you got to set these habits now if you want to be successful, because this team believes in you, the front office believes in you, your teammates believe in you, your coaches believe in you. Now you got to believe in yourself to go do it. And hopefully yesterday is the start of a really hot stretch for Jackson, because he bottomed out in Double-A at the end of May, then he flipped the switch. I think we're approaching that switch for Chourio in the big leagues. I just really love that quote from Yelly, too. Whew, ready to run through a brick wall, right? We got more to talk about here. We're talking a little bit about the rest of the league and what to expect here coming up. And then we'll wrap things up with a few housekeeping notes as well. As we're going to the top of the hour, this is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders. And I said, you betcha. And he said, do you mind if I cherry pick? And I said, feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right, because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
The Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford and Oshkosh just lowered their dine-in Wednesday and Friday fish fry price to $4.99. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Sunday through Thursday. Call and reserve mindchefrestaurant.com.
Grab tickets to any Brewers game now. Next up, it's a can't-miss homestand against the Cubs and the White Sox the week of May 27th through June 2nd. Open up a new chapter of the I-94 rivalry May 27th through the 30th as the Brewers take on the Cubs. Then join Happy Days theme night for a Bronze Fonz bobblehead at the game on Friday, May 31st. Get in on a big week of Brewers action now at brewers.com/tickets.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost, free tire repair, and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Buy one or a whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
It's still too early to look at some playoff odds and things like that, but I like to look at it every now and then. First of all, don't look at the Baseball Reference one. The Baseball Reference one is more based on regular season, like the last 90 games and what you've done in those last 90 games. So you may notice on Baseball Reference, the Brewers have a 98.7% chance to make the postseason. That's bad math. I'm sorry. It's clickbait. Fangraphs is the one I always trust. The current projections Still give it just a little less than a coin flip between the Brewers and the Cubs to win the division. And it likes both of their chances to make the postseason. In fact, right now, if the postseason started today, you would have the division winners being the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. Now, we can count on the Dodgers and the Phillies or Braves being in, right? We know, let's be honest, we know the Braves, Phillies, and Dodgers are going to be in the postseason. We know the Dodgers are going to win the West. We know either the Braves or Phillies are going to win the East, and the team in second place is going to get the first wild card. Then there's still a very good chance that the team in second place in the Central could be a wild card team. The Padres have underperformed. The Padres are still under 500, 22 and 24. In fact, the rest of the West is under 500 behind the Dodgers. The Brewers and Cubs are the only teams above 500 in the Central. And in the East, the only teams above 500 are the Braves and Phillies. Right now, Fangraphs has the Brewers at a 73% chance to make the playoffs. And again, this is a team that's projected to be under 500 by Pacoda and by Zips to win 76 games this year. And a reminder, reinforcements are coming. Devin Williams will be back in July. D.L. Hall is going to be on a rehab assignment here soon. Garrett Mitchell will be on a rehab assignment here soon. Yelly missed 3 weeks. Now Hassan's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks. This is crazy what they're doing right now. Absolutely crazy. And even if in 2 weeks, I'm not hedging here, I'm just being honest, the Cubs should be back to full strength as they have Seiya back, they have Cody back. The Cubs are going to come to Milwaukee in 2 weeks and say, we expect to win this series. Let's be honest, the Cubs are a darn good team. And talent-wise, as far as guys that have done it before, they're probably a little bit better. More than a little bit. But maybe that young ambition and the not knowing any better, the naivete of the Brewers team. If you can at least get a split. I know it's, Dom, it's home field. You got to protect home field. Look, you're probably going to see Shota. You're probably going to see Assad again. Freddie's probably going to have to pitch against the Cubs again there, too. You need your ace pitch like an ace, but obviously they had such a great game plan against him 2 Sundays ago at Wrigley. That's going to be a hard series to win flat out. It really is. I'd take a split right now with the Cubs in 2 weeks. I really would. And on this road trip, on this 10-game trip, 9-game trip, I should say, 5-4, I'd take that all day. That's winning 2 series and losing 1. You know, maybe you lose the Astros series, but win the series against the Marlins and the Red Sox. Now, if you go 6-3, that's awesome. Depends on, some people will be like, depends on how you go 6-3. Are you getting swept by a team and then winning the other 6, or are you, is it the arrangement? I don't care. If the Brewers can go 5-4 on a 9-game, 3-city road trip, sign me up. That's going to add up throughout the season. Because then you come home for those Cubs, take a split there, then you get the White Sox, and look, the Brewers are better than the White Sox. Sweeps are hard to do. You should win that series. Maybe you'll see Garrett Crochet in that too, and he's been nasty. But all of a sudden, let's say you just win that series, you split with the Cubs, so that puts you at a 6-3 record on that homestand. Or excuse me, that puts you at a 4-3 record on that homestand. Combine that with a 5-4 road trip, 9-7 over a 16-game tough stretch to close out May. Take that all day long. Now, if you want to get really ahead of yourself, 10-6, that's the sign of a really good team. Because you multiply that out by 10, that's a 100-win pace. That's how hard it is to win 100 games in baseball. I don't think the Brewers are going to win 100 games this year. Don't get ahead of me. I do think that we are taking shape that with the new playoff format, if you win 90 games, you're in the postseason. It's that simple, as it should be, quite frankly. If you win 90 games, you're in the postseason, and the Brewers have a chance to do it. Now, 88 could be in as well. If you're above 500, generally you're going to be in the postseason. And by the looks of it so far, Mets under 500, Cardinals, Reds, Pirates under 500. Now, the Cardinals are showing life. Reds are needing to get going ASAP. Padres need to get going. Diamondbacks need to get going. Giants have been weird. All those teams will get going. But 90 wins is always kind of a goal, a stretch goal, and you're going to get in the postseason if you do that. We'll wrap up the program with some injury notes and some broadcasting notes of what to listen for this week here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Salute to Service highlights the heroic stories of first responders right here in Wisconsin. Thank you to all of those who nominated your heroes. Listen to all of the incredible stories on our Salute to Service special program Monday, May 27th from 9 to 11 a.m. And again at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We will air the best moments from the entire week. It's Salute to Service, only heard here on WTMJ.
It's Steve Scafidi Salute to Service, presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
For your new roof, we'll give you the hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty in the industry. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapies, taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas. No harmful steroids, surgery, or downtime.
It changed how I'm living. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
Get back your life before the pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
All right, welcome back. I'm Dom Petronio. Last couple minutes here of the show. First and foremost, what to listen for this week. Again, we are in Houston, deep in the heart of Texas, as the Brewers will take on the Astros. Tomorrow's first pitch, similar to what the Brewers do here, 7:10 tomorrow night, 6:10 on Saturday, and 1:10 on Sunday, which means I have you covered for extra innings on all three games, and I've got you covered for Brewers warm-up on both Saturday and Sunday. Those air times will be at 5 o'clock and at noon. Then the Brewers will head to Miami. 3 night games in Miami next week, so keep that adjusted on your calendars as the Brewers will prepare for them. And then finally, off day a week from today on Thursday as the crew gets ready to go to Boston. Some quick injury updates. As we mentioned in the last segment, Rhys Hoskins on the IL, expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks with his right hamstring strain. Wanted to get this early and make sure it does not linger throughout the year. He felt it rounding first on what could have been a double. Wanted to shut it down ASAP. I think this is the right thing to do. I hope he's able to return for the Philly series, which I know he's had circled on his calendar for a while. We'll see how that goes. Also, on the injury front, Taylor Clark, a reliever for the Brewers, who missed the end of spring training in the first month of the season due to a meniscus surgery on his knee. He was on a rehab assignment in Nashville, and he has since been activated off the injured list, but optioned to AAA Nashville. He had one option year remaining, so they have used that option year, He can be shuttled up and down 5 times. J.B. Bukowskis is still on the injured list. He is not eligible to come off until June, as he's been moved to the 60-day IL. Jacob Junis is still throwing a little more aggressively now as he continues to throw hard flat grounds. I believe he gets off a mound this week. DL Hall is set to start a rehab assignment since everything went well from Tuesday's simulated game. We'll get details on that this weekend down in Houston as well. So things are getting closer. And Garrett Mitchell should get the cast off in, I believe, 10 days' time, and then he'll go on a rehab assignment from there. So good things brewing. Should be a lot of fun. All right, 3 cities, 9 games. Astros, Marlins, and Red Sox await. I'll be with you for post-game after just about every single one of them. Thanks to our producer, Matt Yazel. My name is Dominic Cotroneo. Thank you for listening. We'll see you over the weekend. Until then, keep on swinging.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers,